I found out my sister has been lying about our family to her friends for years. Author is mentioned in the description. Not great at explaining things, so bear with me, I guess. So about 3 years ago, my 15 Fahrenheit older sister 17 Fahrenheit Lee's fake name personality basically did a 180 overnight. She went from being the sweet reliable big sis to kinda snappy and closed off. Stopped doing chores, would get an attitude if anyone reminded her. Spent all day in her room, you get the point. I was 12 at the time, so I was just like, why is she acting like that? And my brother 21 meters was moved out and busy with school and whatnot. In the beginning, my parents chalked it up to teenage girl hormones, which was also technically part of the issue. But also one night she just came out of her room crying and told us she is bisexual. My parents were extremely supportive of this, so was my brother because he's gay. I wasn't educated on this kind of stuff at the time, so I didn't get until my parents explained it to me and why it was such a big deal to her, and I was just like, cool, good for you, sis. So anyways, her behavior got better after that, and she was being nice to us again. She didn't hang out with me as much, which is like what teenage girl wants to be around their little sister, lol. So fast forward 3 years later, me and my sister are really close again, or at least I thought we were. One thing I've noticed same with my parents is that her friends started acting very weird towards us. Like they wouldn't talk to us when they came over if they did, or would occasionally make backhanded remarks or roll their eyes when we spoke. It was weird, but again, this was only when they came over, which was rarely. So me and my parents kinda just brushed them off like whatever, they don't have to like us. I just found out why they act like this. Probably like an hour ago, I was peacefully binge watching an anime when my phone started buzzing like crazy. When I checked, I was added into a group chat on Egg by her friends. In this group chat, they were basically bashing me for being a horrible person. They were calling me homophobic, a spoiled brat, terrible sister, golden child, homewrecker. Kept telling me I need to apologize to my sister for abusing her, so obviously I'm confused. When I expressed my confusion to them, they told me to stop acting dumb and innocent. Later though, they realized I was being serious and genuinely did not know what they were talking about. That's when they sent me a bunch of screenshots between them and my sister. To sum things up, my sister has fed her friends a very wild story about her life and how we treat her. Our parents are extremely homophobic and are kicking her out at 18 because of her sexuality. When she came out, I quickly became the favorite child. I'm spoiled and get everything I want. And because of this, I treat her badly for fun. I hit her, steal, break her things, verbally abuse her, and call her homophobic slurs. Not only do my parents allow it, they encourage it. She's forced to do all of the chores and cooking in the house, including cleaning my room. This girl does not know how to cook. Lied about other stuff like having autism and me making fun of her for it, which is crazy because I'm the one with autism. There's so much more. The screenshots go back like 2 years, so she's been telling them this shit for close to 3 fucking years. I asked them why it's taken them this long to confront me. They said she begged them not to confront or talk to us about it because apparently it will make things worse for her, and her plan was just to go and see with us once she's 18. But they couldn't hold back this time because the most recent thing she told them was that apparently I found out the guy she likes is talking to, and immediately found his social media and started texting him. Now he won't talk to her. So not the abusing, but this was the straw that broke the camel's back for them. El Mao. I debunked as much as I could, sent them pics from pride festivals we went to with her, sent them pics of us we take a lot together, sent them pics of my brother with his boyfriend. They were pissed, but I asked them not to do anything until I figure out how to deal with it, because apparently my sister is the abused black sheep of the family. They agreed. The convo about me stealing the boy she likes happened a few hours ago. I checked on my sister and she was peacefully sleeping, so she doesn't know the GC. As for me, I'm having many emotions about this: shocked, hurt, angry. It feels like a huge slap in the face. I don't know how to go about this. I don't even know why she's doing it. For attention. Reddit, what should I do? TL divided by Dr. Sister has been lying for years about my family being abusive and homophobic. Just found out, confused on what I should do, please help. Relevant comments. Commenter, is it possible she found her coming out to you guys as anticlimactic and felt the need to create her own narrative or something? Wouldn't be the first time I've read about someone doing something like this. I read another post of this woman smearing against her parents about blogging about how horribly she was treated, and her parents got wind of it and exposed her. She got in trouble for that. She was an adult too. I suggest inviting all the friends and the parents and confront her together so she doesn't continuously change her narrative. It might feel like ganging up on her, but this is how you catch her in her lies. She's almost 18. She could leave soon and destroy your family's reputation. She's already doing that, but she could lie about all that in her college applications and other stuff. Have your parents contact her therapist to update on what she's been up to. Opus, I honestly have no clue. I wrote in another comment that reading the MSGS from the screenshots her friends sent me, I couldn't even recognize her. She sounds like another person in these texts that I thought her friends were just fabricating it. At home she's completely normal, doesn't lie, sweet as always, mature, you get the idea. Can you send me a link to that post? PLS. Update. First off, I want to thank everyone for advice. You all helped me get my thoughts in order, so I really appreciate that. So now for the update. I talked to my parents and it went kinda how I expected. Kinda not. Also, I know this is kinda late, I do apologize for that. I stayed up most of the night, because I was reading her comments and whatnot and couldn't sleep that much, lol. Got app 2 hours in. But I went with the obvious advice y'all gave me and took screenshots of everything, including the MSGS from the last night GC. My dad gets home earlier than my mom and my sister has a part-time job, so I spoke to my dad first. Obviously he was furious, shocked, hurt. It was hard watching it happen since I love my dad. He also apologized a lot as I'm the one who had to find this out and sit him down. Anyway, mom got home and my dad wanted to talk to her alone, so I went in my room. This is the unexpected part. I heard my parents arguing a lot and I'll skip the details, but I later found out that mom knew App Lee's lies. She found out App 5 months ago and didn't tell my dad. I don't know the details, but apparently she made my sister promise not to do it anymore and just trusted that she wouldn't. El Mao. Safe to say my dad was pissed. Lee got home and things got worse. More screaming from Lee. It was hard not to hear. BC, I was literally in the house, but my dad said that Lee was punching and scratching her legs, threatening to kill herself. Also screaming that she was going to kill me. So I was kinda scared to leave my room. Literally never heard my sister scream like that before. My dad was already mad that my mom went behind his back and kept him out of something that involves his child. My mom defended herself, saying that she was just protecting Lee and that she's just a kid. But my dad is smart enough to realize that Lee is clearly not mentally well and said she needed to be put in AMH. A lot of you said the same. From what I heard and what my dad told me, my mom begged him not to. But dad was already pissed at what she did, so he threatened to leave her if she didn't comply. There was more arguing, but eventually they did drive her to the hospital, and obviously I haven't seen her. Me and my dad are now at my grandparents' dad's side, and he is not currently speaking to my mom, but he did tell her that if she tries to take Lee out, then she is ending their marriage. I also spoke to my brother, and obviously he was hurt but concerned for our sis, so there's that. My dad and I have talked a lot. Good talks. He apologized to me for everything going on, but it's not his fault, so there's nothing to forgive. If anything, I feel more bad at the situation, but me and my dad are good. I'm not sure exactly where my parents' relationship stands right now, but dad told me not to worry about adult stuff and to just focus on being a kid and going to school, so that's what I'm gonna try and do. But that's basically everything for now. I will update if anything else happens. Thank you again, Reddit. TL divided by doctor. Spoke to dad, his reaction was expected. Mom knew everything for months and didn't tell dad. Sister is now in AMH. Dad and I are staying at grandparents. Relevant comments. Commenter, you were so brave and I'm so happy you told your parents. It's wonderful that your dad has you and your sister's back. Your mom seems scared and obviously ill-equipped to handle the gravity of your sister's symptoms. Your dad's right though, he's got this. You're safe and loved. It takes work, but now that your sister's actions and symptoms are in the open, you all can start to heal. By telling your dad, you started the healing journey. That's huge and an amazing thing. For some reassurance regarding your sister, 7 years ago my sis had several psychotic breaks. It was a combo of drugs, complex trauma, later diagnosed BPD, so a different situation, but it did result in her threatening to kill me, and she wanted to as she was taken to the MH. It was scary. After her doing a shit ton of work, therapy, taking her meds, etc., she is leveled, honest, and just a little weird. We have a strong and very honest relationship. Opus, I didn't mention this in either of my posts because I didn't think it was relevant, but now it kinda is. An issue with my mom is that ever since Lee came out, she does kinda coddle her and make excuses for her shitty behavior, like example, why is Lee being kinda rude today? Mom, oh well, I'm sorry, she's just young and trying to navigate her sexuality as a young teenager. And you get it. Lol. Commenter, wait, during her freakout did your sister at any point try to explain why she did that? I mean, I have a pretty good idea why, but I wanna hear what she had to say. Also, please stick with your dad. Opus, she didn't explain, no. At first dad said she was lying. She said her friends were trying to get her in trouble. Then she said I was trying to get her in trouble, but dad wasn't having it. She tried making excuses, but in the end I didn't find out the reason from her. Commenter asks about the possibility of Opus's mom hiding from the family and thinking it was a phase that the sister might get over with. Opus, I have a theory as to why. Unfortunately, my mom has always been the person to run or turn away from difficult situations. I think that in my mom's heart she knew she needed to do something about it, but at the same time my sister is her sweet angel, and my mom just didn't want to face the possibility that Lee is anything other than her sweet angel, so she ignored it and forgot it happened. Commenter has expressed concerns for Opus and if she is able to keep her personal things away from her sister if released. Opus, most of her lies were about me, weirdly enough. It's just so crazy how she can be so loving towards me, but if you read those messages you'd think she hated me. She didn't just make up lies about how I treat her. She would bash my character any chance she got, and so would her friends. Things I always thought she loved about me when she was actually making fun of it behind my back for years. I don't know if my dad is considering divorce or not. Marriage counseling for sure, how he sees it as if she kept a secret about something so huge for months involving his child. What else is she hiding? Also, I will talk to my dad about erasing me from her phone, lol. And people can say what they want, but I will not be giving her pass for what she did because her mental health is shit. Mental health or not, she made a choice to actively bash and destroy my character behind my back for 3 years. She is my sister and I will always love and care for her, and I am rooting for her to get better, but as of right now I don't have to like her. It's going to take a long time for her to earn my trust back and forgive her. If she even wants that, I don't think my sister even likes me, lol. I don't have to be the fire that keeps her warm. Commentator asks about Opus's sister's admission to the mental health and if the sister will get therapy. Opus, like I said before, I don't know the ins and outs of therapy or mental hospitals. I wasn't there when they took her. All I know is they were gone for a few hours before they came back, and me and my dad went to my grandparents. I asked my dad about it and they said it honestly depends on the situation and what the person is dealing with. When they took her, her legs were bleeding and swollen from hurting herself, plus the details of what happened previously, so yes, as of right she is in 72-hour hold or whatever. It's not just the fact that she was making threats, she was literally injured from hurting herself. Commenter, it's probably a good idea to limit her internet access for a bit after she gets out, or at least to monitor it a lot. There's a chance she might start spreading lies on there, too, if she's given the chance right after coming back. Also, I know you said that your father isn't going to go for divorce yet, but please tell him to still gather evidence now of what your mom did just in case. Theoretically, if it does come to divorce, if your sister ends up in sole or majority custody of your mother, I'm willing to bet that she's going to keep enabling your sister. And since your mom did already, your sister would probably ask to be with her at your ages. Courts usually let teens decide who to be with. Your father would have to prove why that would be bad. Just based off my experiences going through a shit ton of custody battles when I was younger between my parents. Opus, yeah, my dad has already said that he will do everything to help my sister get better, but she's not getting a pass because of her mental issues. She still chose to do something awful and continued doing it for 3 years. She's not going to have the same privileges she had when she gets out. No phone or other entertainment devices for a while. And no hanging with friends outside of school, not that she has anymore. The point is, if I didn't find out when I did, something very catastrophic could have happened, like getting CPS called on them or worse. Dad said that Lee needs to understand that as much as good behavior gets rewarded, bad actions have bad consequences. As for my parents, I still have no idea. They did end up speaking on the phone earlier, but it was pretty short. All I know right now is that Dad doesn't trust Mom and thinks she might be hiding other stuff, and he definitely wants to get marriage counseling and possibly family therapy for all of us. Update number 2. Hey guys, it's been a minute, but I have another update if y'all are still interested. Also, thanks again for the sweet comments, it means more than you know. I'll start with some positive stuff first. I got to see my brother and his BF. They took me and my dad to the movies and out to dinner. It was really fun. It took my mind off things. New Year's was really fun. I spent it with my dad's side of the family. I haven't shared too much details with friends because this is a family matter, but from what they know, they've been super supportive and sweet. Now on to other stuff. Lee was supposed to get out on the 1st, but that didn't end up happening. She did get out on the 5th and is at home with our mom. Again, I repeat, I don't know how all that stuff works. I had a conversation with my dad about not feeling comfortable going home and being around my sister and mom just yet, and he was very understanding, but he did have to go back for obvious reasons, and my grandparents were more than pleased to keep me there, lol. About my sister, from what I know, her first day out she didn't talk to anyone and basically just slept the rest of the day. Second day was a little rough. She wasn't happy about not getting her phone back or having some privileges taken from her. My mom tried to fight with my dad about it, but basically gave up as she's still in hot water with him. When mom found out I wasn't coming home right away and wasn't really open to talking to Lee about the situation, yet she got pretty upset and sent me a message. She basically said that I can't be mad at Lee because she's not well and needs all the support she can get right now, and apparently she's in distraught that I don't want to talk to her and I'm making things worse. Okay, literally never cared less. Lee does have depression, anxiety. I don't know any more than that other than she is being medicated. I'm pretty sure my dad did talk to my sister's therapist to update her on the situation. My dad did go through my sister's phone and it wasn't cute. He found a GC where my sister and her friends would basically harass this girl from their school. Reason: no clue. Not just for that situation, but for the whole situation in general. My dad did have to find the numbers of Lee's friends' parents and let them know of what's been going on. I have no clue what's happening with them, but it's none of my business. Lee did admit that the lying was for attention and false sympathy, and she never meant for it to go this far. Not sure if I believe that entirely. I don't think I need it, but my dad also wants to put me in therapy, so I'm just going with it, lol. Big issue right now, my mom continues to coddle and enable my sister. My sister knows this too, so she hasn't been going to my dad about anything because she knows that he is going to actually parent her. My mom will try to stand her ground with Lee, but then the waterworks start and blah blah blah. It's annoying and it's making my dad upset. It's the fact my sister knows she can get my mom to do what she wants. It's manipulative and gross. I have gone back to school and Lee is coming back soon. I'm worried for when that happens. A lot of you said she might try and spin some story with teachers or counselors, but also as of right now my sister is essentially friendless and I'm not gonna talk to her at school either. I mean, it is the consequences of her own actions, but I can't help but pity her. I just don't want her loser ex-friends to come up and be AHs to her. At the end of the day, I think that inevitably there will be a meeting with Lee, my parents, ex-friends and their parents, and the girl that Lee and her friends harassed. I already said this in a comment, but I'm gonna say it here too. Regardless of what you'll think, I do not plan on forgiving or speaking to my sister anytime soon, lol. She does not get a pass because her mental health is shit. She still actively chose to do something disgusting and continued to do that for 3 years. She did not just make up lies about how I treat her. Her and her loser squad would actively make fun of and bash my character any chance they got. Looks, hobbies, interests was all bashed. I would never let someone speak about my sister the way she let them speak about me. I love her and genuinely hope she gets better, but I don't have to like her. My mom can think I'm a brat, and my sister can cry about it as much as she wants. I don't care. It's going to take a long time for me to trust her again. It honestly terrifies me to the core how insanely two-faced a person can be. Literally baffles me. Main issue right now, mom and dad. My dad wanted to fight for their marriage, he really did. Looked into marriage counseling and I see immediately. But after more talking, arguing about my sister, my mom lying, and continuing with her BS, my dad ended up finding something very disgusting that my mom has been hiding from him that has left him heartbroken. I'd rather not get into it, but I'm sure you'll have some ideas. I'm still letting all of this process. So no, my dad does not plan on continuing with my mother. Things are a little tough right now. My dad can't exactly just leave our house, mainly because my sister refuses to leave my mom, and understandably my dad doesn't want to leave Lee alone with her. So he's staying just until some legal stuff is sorted out, and I don't plan on going back anytime soon. That's basically it for now. If I'll update again, we'll just have to wait and see. I love my dad so much, he's my best friend, so I'm just gonna try my best to cheer him up and be a good kid during these times. Thanks again for all the support, y'all are great.